Chrono Odyssey has just released its first beta on June the 20th. However, this has not come without any issues, and a lot of players have been doom posting as a result of their hype build-up being shattered. I will admit, the gameplay trailers that they've released did look pretty amazing, and then when the game releases and we actually get to play it for the first time, it looks a little bit underwhelming in comparison. However, we have some developer responses from the community managers and the CEO himself with regards to performance issues, future plans, and how they're actively working already on a lot of certain issues the game's having. To start things off, a little announcement from CM Jenny, community manager. It essentially explains their daily activities and how they had pretty much paused seeding access. They were drip feeding keys so that the servers don't get overwhelmed. There were some issues with players not being able to access the game because it was reporting to them that they didn't meet the minimum system requirements. The community manager apologized for the trouble, but be aware of the actual system requirements for this game. And my PC only just about gets a bit better than the minimum. Therefore, you will see my footage as graphics not being the highest quality and not having the best frame rates. I will probably need a system spec update for the future of this game unless they drop those requirements by significantly optimizing it. They did go on to have temporary maintenance to already address some issues and fix server instability. This is one of the key things they want to address at their first beta. This is the first time they have players en masse joining the game. But then we have a Reddit post. Yeah, there was a lot of doom and gloom and negative posts just for the sake of being negative. Not very helpful in the broad scheme of things. Just try and be constructive with your criticism rather than being needlessly doom and gloom for the point of it, because again, your hype got shattered and the game doesn't live up to the lofty expectations you may have had. And honestly, this is what happens with every single game. Just look at like Ashes of Creation. It finally came out in public alpha and then beta, and it's, yes, nowhere near what many of us expected. In terms of still getting access, don't worry, throughout the beta period, they will be continually granting keys. They have been working on server expansion too, again, to allow more people to join. Now, as for responses from the CEO, Bong Gun Bae, he responds to a player who says, "The beta caused a lot of damage. First impressions are important and it failed." The CEO says they understand your concerns. Their primary goal for this test was to validate the core gameplay and conduct server stress testing. Please trust that many aspects of the game will greatly improve. Just give them some more time. In particular, they will be adjusting motion, I believe player movement, and rendering optimizations. Currently, their team has placed greater importance on addressing server issues and enhancing the combat enjoyment. And they do state they will continue to upgrade the game through the second and third and future phases. So this means they fully intend for this to not just be the first beta test. This is a true beta test, as it were, and not, say, a marketing ploy that you would see other games have, where you would get a public beta test simply to just try out the game and have some marketing before the game fully releases. No, this is a beta test well in advance before planned launch, so they have plenty of time to bug fix and gain player feedback to address issues. Again, they fully plan to have multiple beta phases, not just this one. You can again see here the confirmation that this guy is the Chrono Studio CEO and founder. Another response here with regards to a player being excited to see the second beta, and they promise they will repay you with the highest possible game quality. There was quite an amusing clip, and the CEO did respond with, "Oh my god, basically you could carry these explosive barrels into the main hub areas and, well, blow up groups of players." Shroud was doing this on stream earlier, and that's his clip. but I'm sure it will get addressed, and you probably won't be able to do that moving forward. Again, to stress, they will be bringing significant updates to the UI in their second beta test version, and that will again come with more optimization. They did also say they would look into being able to preserve your characters for the next beta tests. This would help a ton rather than having to go through all that grind again. It could just mean though the character models, so you don't have to go through the character creator again. As for DLSS support, yes, this will definitely be an option they're considering, and we may very well see it for the second closed beta test and official release. They do plan to improve optimization significantly beyond the current level. Again, to express here, the current build we have is a little bit older one, but it is a more stable one. And they wanted to proceed with this test using the current development build to prevent any major issues. They are working hard to enhance both the quality and enjoyment, and he states how many successful games have gone through long periods of early access, refining and improving over time. So this is again their plans for Chrono Odyssey. For the second closed beta test, their goal is to provide even more polish and maximize your fun. As for console support, yes, you can play on a controller and the game will be coming to consoles. They do have plans to add more proper PvP in the realm of time across different dimensions, and we can look forward to future updates in the next test. Again, to confirm this is an older build. This version is from the end of last year. Their internal development build has improved significantly. And again, confirming there will be a second beta test. But that's about it, all the news we have from the devs. The actual content in the game and the combat feels pretty great. Yes, the movement does seem a bit weird when you look at it. It feels a little bit off with regards to the inertia. Hopefully they will be adjusting that. And yes, the major issue right now I have is the performance, and that's what kind of ruins a lot of my experience in the beta test. But if they address that with the next beta test, this could end up being, yes, a significantly better game. I still have to do more leveling up, I have to reach endgame, and they don't have all the content in the beta test. For an MMORPG, I think the endgame loop is going to be pretty important. So we've yet to see that. Until we do, I don't think we can decide just yet whether this game will be a success or a failure. Based on game optimization, that is definitely something they can fix, and I wouldn't use that right now to determine whether or not the game will be good or bad. In terms of the combat feel, I honestly think it's great. It feels pretty impactful, all of the different abilities, at least coming from other action combat games, like say Neverwinter. Weapon switching can be something to get used to because it has to be an active thing you do. Like you have to press a button to switch between the two weapons. You can't just press a certain key to activate the skills of the other weapon and thus cast it like you would do in Throne and Liberty. This, I guess, will also help somewhat console players, and it's probably designed as a result of that because they don't have so many buttons. So you press one button and you switch your entire skill set and you use the same keys for those 4 skills. I don't think it's too bad, and it'll just be something to get used to. I personally have weapon switching on tab, and then I have my skills on QE or and like caps lock. That's what I'm used to from say Neverwinter, rather than having them on default 1, 2, 3, 4. It definitely gives some hope with regards to the devs confirming this is not the first beta test, and they fully intend to develop this game further based on our feedback. The game will not be launching anytime soon. I don't think it will take as long as like Ashes of Creation to develop and release, but I'm sure it will require many months, if not another year, before this game releases. So once again, a special thank you to all my channel members for your extra support. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye for now.